Andy Johnson, we are looking at how to use story maps for reading instruction. Now, we use them for pre-reading activities. Pre-reading activities are any activity designed to get students ready to read the selection. It provides a scaffold so that they can read the story independently. If that story is at their instructional level, they need some sort of scaffold to enable them to read it without frustration. Rarely should you ask students to read something cold without any sort of preparation, very rarely. Even when you're assigning a textbook chapter, you want to provide some scaffolding, some preparation to enable, especially students who are struggling readers, to read that chapter independently. Now, pre-reading activities are short, 1 to 3 minutes in duration. And again, the purpose is to enable students to read the story independently. 3 common pre-reading activities: story preview, overview, story map, and story grammar. Now, these are all used with narrative text or stories, not with expository text or informational text. A story map here is defined as any visual representation of the salient story elements. You are limited only by your imagination as far as what these look like. As long as you see the relationship between items and events and when they happen. And again, it's used with narrative text. It lays out the events so that you can see them in relationship to each other. And again, so you can see how they happen, how things happen over time. Pre-reading activity, get a sense of what that looks like in a lesson plan. Provide structure. Students see the important events and characters before they read, and as they are reading, you have a poster up on the board so that they can see it. And again, it provides them a sense of important events and characters. And you see here, these are just some ideas, some templates that you might use as a teacher. A variety of forms, variety of forms, variety of forms, variety of forms. Story maps, these are ones that teachers create. You see that up on a board or a poster someplace. And you can also use them as post-reading activities. I might present just the major ideas, the nodes, boys and girls, in this story. It starts out in Kansas. A tornado takes Dorothy to Munchkin Land. She tries to get to Oz. And then students then add details to each of the nodes. So they have a structure before they read, and they know that they're going to add ideas to each node as a post-reading activity. You can provide a template like this as well for students to use as a post-reading activity. Eventually, students can create their own story maps. That's where we want to get to. This provides a sense of how students are processing the story. It's an effective assessment of their ability to create meaning with print, more effective than a stinking comprehension worksheet. Some ideas for using story maps for reading instruction.